All right, so we are going to be discussing some color harmonies. More specifically, we are going to talk about what color harmonies are, what are some misconceptions you may or may not have about color harmonies, and how we are going to be using color harmonies in our motif portrait project. So, color harmonies are color combinations that are considered especially pleasing. They consist of two or more colors with a fixed relation in the color wheel. So, ones that you may have heard of, monochromatic, we just talked about those ones. Analogous, complementary, split complementary, triadic, and tetradic, which is essentially double complementary. So, two complementary color sets. Okay, so those are some typical color harmonies. So, when it says a fixed relation, okay, it means it has a specific relationship on a color wheel. Like complementary colors being across from each other on the color wheel, or analogous colors being next to each other on the color wheel, okay? Their relationship is always the same, no matter where specifically on the color wheel it is. So about this time, this is when I probably want you guys to pause this video and actually go watch a different one. Please find the link that I already shared with you guys about watching this video. It's called This Is Not Blue, A Lesson in Color Theory. You need to watch this. Phenomenal information. You guys need to see it. Just don't question me on this. Pause this video, watch this one, and then come back to this one. It is okay. Moving on. So, if you guys don't know this already, red and blue are not primary colors. I gave you a moment to cry and scream if you needed to, okay? Anyways, so the real primary colors are cyan, magenta, and yellow, okay? And if you watch that video like I told you to, you would have been like, yes, Sour, I already understand this. If you haven't watched that video yet, please go back and watch it because I told you to, okay? You would have learned that cyan, magenta, and yellow make a lot of sense because you have printer ink. That's CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow, black, okay? If red, blue, and yellow were the legit primary colors, our printer ink, if you ever refilled a printer ink or saw printer ink at the store at Walmart ever before, you would have seen red, blue, yellow, and black in the printer cartridges that you would buy. But that's not what's there. Okay, the reason being is if you try to actually mix these colors together, okay, red, blue, and yellow, you don't get the true richness of purple and green and orange that you actually want. And she actually does this live experiment of mixing paints and mixing Copic markers if you actually watch that video, okay? So if you haven't done it yet, go back and check it out and then come back. Okay, I'll be done with, making fun of the video now. Go. Okay, I'm done. Anyways, so if you actually mix cyan, magenta, and yellow, you get a true red when you mix magenta and yellow, like really good red. And you may get a really good green when you mix cyan and yellow, and a really good purple when you mix cyan and magenta. It's crazy, probably because they're actually the primary colors. Secondary colors are red, blue, and green, which seems wild until you find out that the cones in your eyes are red, blue, and green. Okay, cones meaning there are things in the back of your eyes. So we have rods and cones. Okay, this is Miss Sarah explained to you about how color works because science is dope. Okay, you have red, blue, and green cones in your eyes. Cones are the color receptors that are helping your brain understand what colors you're seeing. And then you have rods, which are helping you understand how light and dark things are that you're seeing. So we're talking about cones. Cones are for color. When those combinations or singular cones are fired, you interpret and you see those colors, okay? So your brain receives those sensations. You're like, yes, I see a yellow banana. Or, yes, I see a green leaf on a tree, okay? You see these things because of the cones are firing in the right proportions of red, green, and blue for you to see those colors, okay? It's how it works, okay? YouTube, some dope videos on this. Maybe I'll share some with you guys, or you should ask and I'll send you some videos, okay? It is super cool because science is dope. Anyways, but these are the secondary colors, okay? They're secondary because they are what you get when you mix primary and secondary colors together. Two primary colors together. My apologies. Okay. Because 1 + 1 = 2. Primary plus primary equals secondary. Okay. So if I took yellow and I took magenta, I would get red. If I took yellow and I took cyan, I would get green. If I took cyan and I took magenta, I would get blue. A very nice blue, actually. Okay. So that is what happens. Okay. So get over it. Don't yell at me about it. That's the way science works. My apologies if you were lied to up until this point. So moving on. Okay. Tertiary colors is what we refer to when we have a primary color and a secondary color. Okay. So primary colors are 1. Secondary colors are 2. So primary plus primary equals secondary. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Okay. Primary plus secondary, 1 plus 2 equals 3, which is tertiary. Okay. So all of the in-betweeners. Okay. So everything that was not a primary or secondary color on that color wheel, that is a tertiary color, which is what my arrows are pointing to in my diagrams. So those are all the ones I didn't mention yet. Okay, those are all your tertiary colors. So everything that was left over. Beautiful. So you probably have already heard about complementary colors. Those are essentially anything that's directly across from each other on the color wheel. Slightly skewed now because magenta's on this color wheel. My apologies for ruining your life. Okay. Anyways, so still, complementary colors are still the same definition that you guys always learned. They're across from each other on the color wheel, okay? And I'll be showing you guys this really cool tool called the color calculator that can help you figure out these color relationships with a very easy tool, okay? So just wait, it's gonna be super dope. Anyways, so complementary colors are directly across from each other. Easy, okay? Nothing's changed except for that magenta's on that color wheel now. Sorry, not sorry. All right, split complementary is when you have a base color. So let's say I'm starting at yellow, okay? And then I have 2 colors that are adjacent to or next to my complement, okay? So that's what my dotted line's for. My dotted line's going all the way to the complementary color, but then my split complementary goes to the 2 colors that are next to it. So I have my yellow, I have sort of like my tealy color, my bluish, sort of my darkish, bluish, greenish, I don't know what color that is. I pointed to it. And then I have my purple. Okay, so those would be my 3 colors that kind of go together. Very nice, split complementary. Let's move on. Okay, and then I have my analogous colors, which are 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So I have my yellow green, I have my yellow, and I have my yellow orange. Very nice. Okay, and this could be 3 or 4 colors. So I can include red in there. I can include green in there. I can throw it on the other side of the color wheel and I'm going to do yellow green, yellow blue, blue, purple, blue, purple, I can do it that way as well. It's all good. So I can slide it anywhere around the color wheel I want, as long as there are 3 or 4 colors next to each other on the color wheel. Okay. And then I have triadic. Okay. Triadic are colors that are evenly spaced around the color wheel. Okay. Making sort of like a triangular shape as you see here. Notice how my triadic color scheme, my color harmony that's showing right here, notice what kind of colors it's pointing to right now. If you said, hey, those are the actual primary colors it's pointing to, you would be right, okay? It's cyan, magenta, and yellow, okay? That's because cyan, magenta, and yellow, the primary colors, are triadic as well. If you rotate it just ever so slightly, you'd notice it's pointing to red, green, and blue, the secondary colors, because it's also a triadic color scheme. Okay, so triadic is basically any color scheme that you could take this triangle and rotate it anywhere on the color wheel, and it would continue to have that triangular shape. Whatever color it touches on those 3 points would be part of that triadic color scheme. And this color scheme is also on that color calculator that I'll be showing you guys in another video. So stay tuned. It's going to be super dope. Anyways, the last big one that I really want to show you guys is tetradic, and that is when you have 4 colors arranged into 2 complementary pairs, okay? So remember that complementary colors are colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel. Notice that my top left and my bottom right of my rectangle, those are colors that are directly across from each other on the color wheel. And my top right and my bottom left, those are also complementary colors, okay? So whenever you have 2 sets of complements, that's a tetradic color scheme, okay? In case that wasn't quite clear. Anyways, so 2 sets of complementary pairs, that is what tetradic is. So I will be sharing with you guys a video about the color calculator when you guys, and I'll be sharing the link with you guys. So you'll be seeing a page that looks like this, okay? It's Sessions College for Professional Design, okay? And it'll look kind of like this. So if you see something that has this funky rainbow color wheel kind of thing and all these weird buttons. Okay, you found the right place. So you didn't go to the wrong spot. You know exactly where you are. This is what it's going to look like. Okay. So I'll be sharing the link with you guys. I'll be sharing the video that explains how to play with all the buttons. So then you can actually use this to help you with your project. So I'll be sharing that with you guys as well. So stay tuned for that. And that is everything I need to share with you about color harmonies. Thanks for watching.